Today we're going to learn how to create a 12 color wheel using Tempera paint. First, when you get your practice sheet, write your name at the top and your class number. Okay. The setup for painting, we have a scrap paper to protect the tables. You'll need a water cup. You can probably share between 2 people. You have your paper. Each table gets one of these containers of paint. The lids click on. You open it up. And I have given you the primary colors, the secondary colors, white, black, and brown. Okay, this is to share amongst your whole table. And you need a paintbrush. And we're gonna use tin foil for our palette so that we can throw them away when we're done at the end of class. So the 12 color wheel has the 3 primary colors, blue, yellow, and red. In between each primary colors are the secondary colors. So between yellow and red is orange because yellow and red mix to make orange. And then in between each secondary and primary color is something called a tertiary color. That's the color that you get when you mix that primary and that secondary together. They don't get their own names. They're named by what makes them. For example, between yellow and orange is yellow-orange. Between orange and red is red-orange. So when you are ready to start painting, you bring the colors to you. Don't try to bring the popsicle stick from far away. You bring the color to you, and because these are small little shapes, a little bit of color is all you need. And put it back. Okay, so the colors that I give you, you just want to practice painting neatly. A little bit of paint on your paintbrush, nice neat edges, and fill it in. When you go to switch, you have to make sure your paintbrush is clean, because if I were to go the yellows now, it would be all dirty. So in the water cup, tap, tap, tap. And then dry it with a paper towel. You don't want to take soaking wet from the water into your paint. It'll make it all watery. So dry it using the paper towel, make sure it's clean. And I can take my yellow. Now, the tertiary colors you have to blend. So you want to mix a little bit of the yellow and a little bit of the orange. Now watch what happens. That is way too orangey. Whenever you're mixing 2 colors, the lighter color is weaker and the darker color is stronger. Yellow is lighter than orange. So I used too much orange because I did about equal amounts. So instead I'm gonna start fresh with a clean, dry brush. And I'm going to take a good amount of the of the yellow and just a little bit of the orange and mix it in. Now that's not quite orangey enough, so a little bit more. And what I'm looking for is a color that is in between yellow and orange, okay? So not too close to orange, not too close to yellow, but in between. I think that's pretty good. And as you can see, it doesn't blend in with either one on either side. It should be its own different color. Okay. And I will keep going around to the other colors. Now, between red and orange, a good amount of orange and just a tiny bit of red, because red is darker. I can always add a tiny bit more of red, but because I'm doing it gradually, it lets me get a more gradual color. If you have too much on your paintbrush, watch what I did. I spun the paintbrush to kind of get some of that paint off. And it should be a color in between orange and red. Now, when you go to do a different family of colors, family meaning like the oranges, the different versions of orange to different versions of violet. You have to make sure your brush is really clean. And to do this, I would probably go to the sink and rinse out my water cups so I didn't have any orange left. And you want to make sure your brush is really, really clean. Again, when I'm switching to greens, I'm going to go wash my water cup out. The hardest colors are always the ones that are on either side of yellow. So yellow-green is also pretty hard, and that's because yellow is just such a light color. So you need a lot of yellow and just a tiny, tiny bit of green, and it really turns green quickly. Really look like a lime kind of color, the lime green. And you're done with your color wheel.